What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Ducks and Download. In this Black Series figure review and unboxing, we have Professor Huyang, shown from the Ahsoka series, but also, of course, in Clone Wars, but a vital part of the Jedi Order. The history of Huyang literally dates back to 25,000 plus years before the Battle of Yavin. What an absolutely integral part of the Star Wars universe to finally have in hand. So let's go ahead, bust him out of this carbonite, and see what he has to offer. All right. The sabersmith and super knowledgeable droid who not only teaches younglings how to use a lightsaber, but also goes as far as to teach them the history of the universe, parts 1, 2, and 3, seeing as how, well, the guy's been around for most of it. Get this top shelling off. Get rid of the warning label there. All right, start popping out some accessories. Oh, we got a little bit of tape here. All right, first accessory here we have is the training saber. Sadly, he does not come with 4 of them, but this is the training saber that we see him use with Sabine in the Ahsoka series, showing her form and how technically bad she is at it. I love this snarky droid so much. Played by David Tennant. An absolutely stellar little practice saber here. Activation switch, a little belt loop maybe. Very nice top pommel. Very more reminiscent of High Republic and Older Republic sabers, which seem to have more guards on them than the current sabers we know of in the Skywalker saga. Next we have the data pad. I gotta say, they're getting a lot better at keeping these things secure, but almost to like a detriment to the poor little figure, because you have to really bend it, because they constantly keep putting they're dipping it down into the plastic to give it this little overhang here. And I wouldn't say I hate it. It just makes it harder to get it out. There we go. Just give it a good old push. This is, of course, the data pad that Huyang is seen using multiple times throughout the series. Who knows what all he contains on this data pad? Huyang himself has never, again, been wiped, or else he would forget all of the histories that he has learned and lived through. And the Jedi do not want that. One of the few droids to not be wiped. And as we know with non-wipe droids, they're very, very, very sassy. All right, we have the backpack here with the extra arms. This backpack, of course, is what will help Huyang train multiple students in multiple different areas of attack and defense, along with, of course, just all-around mobility. Good articulation in them. Very easy to also compact, which I really enjoy that. Little stiff joint on that side, but nothing too crazy. Never once felt like it was going to break or anything. Now for the professor himself. Let's just do one foot in front of the other. And soon we'll be walking out that door. I wouldn't say you need to be extremely careful when removing these kind of figures. The normal amount of care is always honestly asked for, if you ask, in my opinion. But with a little bit thinner arms and thinner joints, it's not a bad idea to be more careful when you're taking these guys out of the box. That way you don't warp any of the head or anything like that. So let's go ahead and start looking at articulation here. Head has a good swivel to it. Looks like there's another little ball down underneath the neck joint, but nothing too crazy. He wouldn't have that much articulation to begin with. He is a droid. I really like that head sculpt and the paint job. It looks really, really fantastic. The jowls almost within the elongated ears. You know, those jowls really make me think of the true Sith blood race, and I don't know if that has anything to do with the original Jedi. Hopefully we can find out in the Dawn of the Jedi movie to come out later, 2027 or something like that. Little ball joint underneath that has a cusp up on top. All right, good, finally went. I was a little worried about this arm. Once you get them kind of going, it seems they're a lot easier to move. Great elbow articulation. Good hands. Both in a very gripped position to hold the lightsaber or data pad in either hand. I like that none of them have their finger exposed, as of course he does not have a blaster. We got some detailing in some wiring down here underneath his abdomen. That's really cool. No soft goods to speak of, but this is a leather skirt, I would imagine. So honestly, it's not that big of a deal for that to be a harder plastic. It gives more of that leather vibe then. Pouches on the back for all the random tools and bits and baubles he has throughout the years. More wiring. Legs have really good articulation in them, as in simple, basic, but not too hard, not too stiff. Knees look good. Legs do rise up, and the skirt really doesn't impede the legs that much, thankfully, as it isn't like a comma or a full skirt, it is only more of an apron. All droids, I believe, kind of suffer from an inability to stand very well. They have such tiny little legs and spindly little bodies, and it doesn't really help them with standing very much. But I would say Huyang does not have that same issue. He doesn't really have the full droid sculpt. He has a much more robust droid sculpt about him, almost more skeletal humanoid than like B1 battle droid or anything that thin. He's actually kind of in a mid-walk animation here, and well, honestly, it works. One toe just slightly perched. He seems to be able to balance himself quite well on one leg. Let's pop that leg forward more, give him more of that back. All right, cool. Both feet on the ground. Still looking really good. Let's go ahead and get the backpack on our friend here. And with the way it fits in, you can actually see it has little beats over here that kind of help the thing glide and sit in there to really give it that all-in-one look. Hands come up and fit right over his head. Kind of hard to get them to really go any further. They don't want to like go down too far or bend, as they don't have joints in them. So it seems there's actually a bit of a swivel here that allows the arm to go somewhere else. That's pretty useful, I think. He can come down and he can have like a forearm situation here. I'll probably keep him up for display. Looks good though. I actually kind of like those really strange little arms in the back there. They don't look bad, but I feel like on the figure they lose a lot of their versatility, and I would almost rather them just either be kind of in the back there just to show off, or really you can just put him away. Doesn't look bad completely packed up either, and allows him to have much more of his humanoid figure. Training saber in one hand. And the data pad in the other. With the ability to really swivel the head from side to side, you can kind of give him that more like inquisitive look. I really enjoy that, giving him the ability to be like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but it does look quite atrocious. With how sassy he was to Sabine in so much of the Ahsoka series. For a droid, amazing articulation and great posability. For a figure, limited. But I will take that medium ground for, again, a simple droid just doing his droid thing. He could, of course, be walking around with younglings, giving lectures, postulating with his back arms. Yes, I am talking to you, and you over there. I think I'm very fond of this droid, and as in droids go, aside from like R2-D2 and C-3PO because they have so much nostalgia behind them, Huyang is definitely way up there in favorite droids. Now, of course, even though he doesn't need to be, I am always curious, can he do the hardest, what I kind of find to be one of the absolute hardest poses in the entire figure repertoire, kneeled. And I'm going to assume he's going to just slowly fall over, but no. With that nice little bit of extra knee kind of poking out there, that gives him enough of a flat pad to kind of get into a really nice stance though. Now, Huyang, what are you doing? Like Luke Skywalker, you never look down the barrel of a lightsaber. Much better. But the action poses, as much as I love the fact that he can hold such a great pose, it's not Huyang. Now there is a Huyang pose. Teaching, judging, and all of the above. An absolutely stellar figure. I really enjoy those bits of blue that go against the almost beigey gold silver that is the rest of his body. It's a metallic color, but it is a very unique, creamy beige kind of color. All the wiring looks really amazing and really helps that midsection pop. The apron looks really good, and again, it being non-soft good is fine with it being leather. And the feet do a miraculous job of keeping him upright. Absolutely stellar figure, and a great addition to the collection. So let's go ahead and get the shelf shot. Alright guys, there's our boy. There's Huyang. I did not expect him to be that much taller than C-3PO, who's already average human height. So that means Huyang's a pretty tall droid. An absolutely stellar collection to the rest of the droid family there, and I am super excited to have the teacher of so many younglings and the creator of almost every single lightsaber. What an absolutely stellar addition to the collection. And thank you so much for stopping by. Have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, may the Force serve you well.